Tame Impala, Let It Happen. Okay, so this is a lot of interpolating synth chords going on here. It's kind of tricky because, there's some sections where the synth is just kind of hanging on these same notes and the bass is kind of switching the bass note, but a lot of the chords kind of contain the same notes, so it's a little tricky, but for the basic chords here, we do something like this, and we can just swell into a chord here. Just let that hang for a bit, and then we just kick it off with an A chord. Go to a G flat minor. Alright, move it up initially to this A flat suspended 4, so just kind of like a normal A flat bar chord here at the 4, but we want this 6 on the G as well, so we come over and make this shape. And it's just a couple counts, and then back to the regular A flat bar chord. Alright, and the second time through, we do our A, G flat minor, and then we can just move to a regular A flat minor bar chord here. With the verse, we kind of go through that initial intro progression again, but then after that, we just kind of hang out on, like the suspended 4 to regular A flat a couple times. So go through the entire intro progression again, basically, and then just repeat the first half again. And as far as what any actual guitar is doing for the intro and the verse, it's just kind of doing this little funky octave riff strum where we'll hit it once, do a quick 1, 2, 3, 4, slight hesitation, and then a couple more. Okay, we're just doing that A flat there, the 6 on the G and the 9 on the E. All right, dead in all the other strings. And like I said, just 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That type of feel there. Bridge comes around, kick it off with the E flat minor chord here at the 6A, 8 on the D and G, 7B, 6E. Measure there. Move over to a B chord. We just do the bar chord here at the 7. Okay, we drop down to this D flat now at the 4A, 6 on the D, G, B. And then here, the synth basically holds those bottom notes of that chord still, but the bass is going to throw in this G flat note. So basically we could just keep those 6s right there, and then just add the 9 on the A, and you can even throw in this 8. And this will essentially make it a G flat major 7, but it's kind of just like that D flat with a G flat bass note. Because the synth is just holding these notes still. And after we go through that 3 times, basically we would do the first 3 chords again, the E flat minor, B to D flat, but instead of finishing it with that G flat bass note to make it the G major 7, we would just come off of our D flat and then just add a 7 on the B, and it'd be like a D flat suspended 4. Okay, first synth interlude here. We can hit a open A and then pick through the scale. We go 6G, 4 to 5B. Okay, to 7 on the B, to 4E. All right, go through it pretty much again, but after we get to the 7B, we do a 5E, then to a 4E. Second bridge comes around, and we can do a little bit of a synth riff in that too. It does this 4 on the B for a measure. Then we come up to 7B for a counter 2. We go 7, 6, 6G. And then we hold that a couple of counts into the next measure, and then we do this pre-bent 7 on the B and release it. And then we go 7, 6, 4. Second synth interlude here, and this is kind of mimicking like what the bass has been doing in an interesting way here. So we'll start at 2 on the G, 2, 4, 2, 1. Come up to the D, we go 4, slide up to 6, back to 4, to 1 on the G, hammered to 2, back off to 1. All right, repeat the first 2 measures again. Finish it the second time by doing 2D, 2, 1, 4, 2, 4 on the A. And after that, once we hit that last 4, that's essentially replacing that first 2 on the G that we hit. So then from there, we just do the okay from there. And continue the same up to that point. And at the final time, we just kind of cut it a little bit with the... Okay, so this outro second interlude riff, this is like the bass, and it can also be done on like a baritone guitar or just a super drop tune guitar. So I'll try it on the bass here for you, just because I don't have any of those others. And you know, if you can apply it to those other instruments too, if you happen to have one. So we'll start here, and it's going to hit a couple of these 5s on the E. Nice fuzzy tone on there. And then we'll come up to the octave at the 7 of the D, slide that up to 9, slide it back to 7, hit the 7 again. All right, shift over to this G flat spot here at the couple 2s on the E. Come up to the octave at the 4 of the D, slide that up to 6, 6 back down to 4. But with this one, we're going to end it back at the 6 on the D. So instead of like at the 4, we just come up, end it there. All right, and then back to this A flat spot at the 4s. Just hit a couple of those. And then with this, we're not going to go quite as far. We go the octave on the 6 with the D, slide it up to 7, 7 back down to 6, and then we'll come back and hit the 7 again. The second part of it for the interlude, when it comes to the outro, that first part we would repeat a good, 4 or 5 times, then get to this part. But for the first interlude with this, we'll do the first part once, and then we go to this part, where it just kind of switches something that happens at the G flat spot. So we kick it off the same with our A spot at the 5s. All right. Then we get to our G flat, and essentially what we would do at the D string, we just do that at the G. All right, we go 4 to 6 on the G, 6 to 4 on the G. But then we still end it on the 6 of the D. And then we finish it slightly different at the A flat here. A couple 4s, slide the 6 to 7, and then we just go right back to the 6 and leave it there.